All right, time for an Under the Cowl of MS podcast episode, the weekly podcast episode that I get out once a week or once every 2 weeks. Who knows when. Got some planes flying overhead, but you can't quite see them. They must be up in the clouds. We are getting close to EAA Air Show Week. I think it's usually the last week of July or early August that it's at the EAA Air Show in Oshkosh, and then it's in the Fond du Lac Airport after, the week after. Took a shower today. My wife's not home yet, so not getting the hair braided. So it's gonna keep flying all over the place, hit me in the face. Nothing too exciting happening. We had 4th of July week, and then the week after it's been in the 90s. And today, for some reason, we got a little break. Today and tomorrow, I think it's going to be in like high 70s. Got this nice little breeze flowing through. Works for me. Not so damn hot. So I figured, what the hell? Go up on the hill, do a video or two or three. Get a couple done for the week. You can see the field's already ready for its 3rd clipping of the year, whereas last year by this time it would have had maybe 1 clipping. It's got a couple dry spots where you can see the dirt and stuff where the farmer did it while it was still wet. Should have waited a day or two, but yeah, they should be making good money this year. The cornfields are already waist high, if not higher, whereas last year at this time it was barely even halfway to the knees. I hear a big plane flying now. I can't figure out where that one is either. They're all flying in the clouds today. But let's see. So recently we checked out Kels, the Jason and Travis Kelce movie. Basically focuses on, is it Jason Kelce, the one that played for the Eagles, and then Travis of course is on there because he's his brother, so he appears a few times. At that time Travis was playing for the Chiefs. It was a big moment for the Eagles and stuff, and Kels had a couple good years, Jason did, and it was an interesting documentary if you're into those characters at all and you want to learn more about them. It was interesting. Still don't care for the Eagles, but yeah, definitely fun watching them play during the good parts of the year, seeing all the highlights and stuff like that, and finding out some other information about both the Kelce brothers. But rewatched Independence Day again, pretty much every year for 4th of July, or around the 4th of July, I rewatch Independence Day. Always an interesting movie to check out. And then at the same time they had Weird Science on the list, so I'm like, what the heck, I could go for checking out some Chet. It's like, it was sad when we lost Bill, but I love his character in there, so rewatch that. It's still a lot of fun. The Area 51 incident I tried to watch, can't remember if that was Korean. I think it was American made, but yeah, it's just very goofy aliens and stuff. I just could not get sucked into it. It just drew me away. I tried my best, but the acting was terrible, and the people that, or the aliens and stuff, just, I don't know, it just wasn't enjoyable enough to pull me in, which is kind of weird because as long as it's sci-fi, even if it's a B film or whatever, I'm there for it. I like all that crap. I was hoping Lemmy would work his way up here. But he's not getting out of his tunnel. He was out already this morning. I was off running errands, and then he climbed on me while I tried to do a video earlier, and then I tried to get him to come with me this time, but no. He's wore out from hunting mice all night. He got those 2 mice last night, so that wore him out. I rewatched Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, the original, the first one. I'll probably watch Return of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes later this week maybe. But it still holds up. It's awesome. It's lots of fun. But I don't know if I ever really realized it back in the day, but they use a lot of video clips from movies. Including the Jaws, when the tomatoes are attacking everybody in the water. They have the Jaws clip where the young brother is out on the sailboat with the girl and stuff, and they got that scene clipped in there. They have some other scenes that were clipped into the movie and stuff, and I don't know if I ever realized that. And I should have. I probably did. My MS brain just ain't remembering it. But yeah, I've seen that movie so many times I would think I would have noticed it. I tried again to watch that Archie animated series from back in the day, and I tried to watch the Beetle Valley one from back in the day. Great stories, great characters, imagery and stuff, but the voices are terrible for all the characters on both shows. I mean, it just throws you completely off why they use the voices they use. And I'm a pretty crappy voice person myself, but I don't think I'm even that bad. It just none of the voices fit the characters. It was just terrible. Sarge especially, I mean, God. And then Beetle has this weird squeaky, I don't know. It was terrible. I just drove me nuts. Archie, I tried my damnedest to make it through a few episodes, but the voices on both of them, I couldn't make it more than 2-3 episodes because I couldn't stand it anymore. And I know I've tried it before and I'll try it again, but I want to watch the shows, but I want the damn voices to be halfway decent. I mentioned, I believe I mentioned that my Xbox took a shit. And I have over 300 some free games on digitally, so I'm like, screw it. They're not going to ever have a deal or drop the price anyways. Every time they talk about a sale, it never happens. Sadly, I bought it the week before Amazon Days or whatever it's called. I should have just checked on Amazon, see if we got any special points or something for buying on there, but I ended up breaking on buying the Xbox One with the 1 terabyte hard drive. Got it for 50 bucks off, so it was better than nothing. But I said screw it, put it upstairs now, and so now I'm playing Xbox way too much. So I'm not getting other stuff done that I should get done because now I got that close to me. So now I'm vegging on that, because when you have over 300 some free games already on your hard drive and you haven't even played probably a fourth of them, because a lot of them I bought are ones I've played in the past. But yeah, it sucks. I recently had to use some more Microsoft points. So, and if you don't know how you get those, you use the Bing homepage and you do your Bing clicks every morning, and you get a couple hundred free point, earn a couple hundred points a day or so, depending on what you do. You can make more points if you search on a laptop and a cell phone or whatever. But if you do the Bing searches and build up your Microsoft points, you can get free Microsoft cards to spend on your Xbox through the Microsoft Store. And every couple of months, if I have any leftover money in my Microsoft account, it tells me it's gonna delete it on a certain date if I don't use it. So then I cash in some more of my points, get some more free Xbox money, and then I go into whatever sales are going on, and I'll buy something to at least burn up that amount that was left over from the last time, and then leave the rest in there for the next time they contact me and tell me that the money's going to be deleted, it's running out. But I sat there, and this time around picked up Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, which I had the earlier game, but it had some issues. I'm very happy they remastered it. For some reason, it's the last thing that's downloading on my hard drive, and it's taking forever. So hopefully that'll get done, because I do want to check it out and see what the difference is from the last one. And I also picked up Spyro Reignited Trilogy, because I used to love Spyro the Dragon, and I played that, what was that? Was that on? That was PlayStation, yeah. On my PS1 and PS2 I had a ton of Spyro games. Those and Crash Bandicoot and all that crap. Used to love playing it. It's a good game to just sit in bed, do the basic things, fly through the rings and all that crap. And this is a trilogy, got it really cheap, so I picked that up. I picked up the original Psychonauts for like $1 or $1.50, something like that. So I used my Microsoft points on that, and then the last one I picked up was Dismantle with 3 add-ons. This one was basically a huge world where zombies, the post-apocalyptical style gameplay. You got tons of buildings and structures you can destroy and collect materials, take those materials to build weapons and all that stuff, build environments, because I got quite a bit of time in it so far, and now all of a sudden I'm able to build buildings and stuff like that, which I ain't big on the build things. They're alright at first, but not as much fun as they used to be. It's more fun in like maybe a Fortnite style where you're building and destroying and fighting at the same time. But just building houses like Minecraft and stuff and then just not being able to do anything with them, it's kind of boring, that aspect. It's fun to build them out the way you want them, but I want to be able to do stuff with them too. At least in this one, once you get them set up, you can put turrets around and get prepared for alien or zombie invasions. Zombie invasions. And then there's also I just lost what I was thinking of, but there's key moments and stuff throughout it where you find these vaults, kind of like Fallout, where you got these underground vaults full of what should be people, but they turned into zombies, so you got to set these alarms off outside them, get them to come out of the vaults. So hopefully, I'm hoping I get to go into vaults after I clear a vault. I haven't cleared a vault yet because I checked out some videos, and you want to be able to put at least 4 turrets up, and I think I can only put up 1 right now, so I'm gonna wait to do those missions until later in the game. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It looks real easy to set up the Twitch access with the video and stuff, so I'm hoping in the next week or 2 I'm going to try and do a couple videos, gaming videos, see what happens. So I'll mention those and keep an eye out for that. If you're into gaming, watching gaming, sitting there gaming the other night, I got just a $50 sized wolf type spider, big black spider going across the ceiling. And I'm like, what are you doing up there? Usually those spiders I just see on the ground, in the carpet, in the shelving, something like that. Usually don't see those going across the ceiling unless they're being chased by a centipede or something. But you usually get the field spiders and stuff that you see in the ceiling. Then these spiders are usually in the ground, but this one was cruising around above my head, above my chair, so I'm watching it the other night. And then the night after that, also I see this tiniest little spider just coming down, in front of the TV. I could see the webbing and stuff. It's a little spider. And so I sat there and I was looking at it, and then I look up on the ceiling and there's like a half a dozen more tiny little dots on the ceiling. I'm like, okay, so that spider had babies, and that's why it's out and about. And I'm hoping I didn't crush any of the little babies, because they're hard to see to start with, and then they're all coming down above my head. So it's like, it's not probably a good spot to be dropping in. You don't want me not to see you, and then I step on you or squash you accidentally. So I was trying to move a couple around as they were coming down on their webs. I'd watch them, play with them. One landed on my eyeglasses and decided to run a web from arm to arm on my glasses. Which I love watching them build webs like that. I'll hold a spider in my hand and just hold my fingers up, kind of like a little bowl type thing. And almost every time, if it's a tiny spider, it'll sit there and start webbing up, and it'll go from finger to finger and build a web across. And it's awesome watching them do it. And then I just destroy it by putting them somewhere, and then they got to restart their web anyways. But yeah, when I'm sitting outside drinking and I find a spider, I'll usually grab him and see if he or she will make a web in my hand. But yeah, I love my spiders, as you can tell. Got my little black widow tattoo, which should have been done the way I requested. The one I wanted was the where you're looking straight down on them and their legs are shadowed and stuff, so it gives it that 3D effect, like there's an actual spider sitting on your neck. But yeah, I used to raise spiders and scorpions in Arizona. I was bored, didn't have pets, so needed to put something in my aquarium. And then we had black widows all over our apartment. You'd constantly find them in the corners and stuff, and then I'd sit there, and I was always getting yelled at for playing with the spiders. I watched on Hulu, I think it was, these Paint with Owen Wilson, basically a Bob Ross parody, but his name's Carl Nargle. Painting happy little trees. But it's a shitty story about Bob Ross, what happened, how he got screwed and then died because he smacking that paint thinner around in a non-vented room and doing a couple hundred paintings a week or whatever, and it's like constantly having his fun smacking that brush. But as he's doing that, he's inhaling all that toxic chemicals, that paint thinner shit. I don't know why they didn't have a good ventilation system and all that stuff. That's kind of weird that it wasn't set up right. And you would think you'd want to at least be in a room full of open windows and stuff when you're painting. But no, for some reason, the people that thrived off him and stole all his money and his art and his life and everything. You can watch the documentary if you ever want. Can't remember the name of that. But yeah, this was I like Owen Wilson, but I didn't really care for this. And I feel like they came down on Bob too much in this, when in the long run, it's not Bob's fault what happened. And he was enjoying what he was doing. He was enjoying his fans, and just basically getting taken advantage of by a couple that will screw anybody over, apparently. So, gotta watch what you say about them. So I'm not even mentioning their names. You'll notice it on there, any of the Bob Ross art materials nowadays that they sell and still collect profits, while Bob's children don't get anything. But then I also checked out The Big Year with Steve Martin, Jack Black, I think Martin Clunes. There was all kinds of people in that movie, but it was about bird watching, and they sit there and have a competition. If you want to do a big year, a big year means you're going to try and identify as many birds as possible and try and break some records. And they get into a contest, traveling all over the world, chasing after birds. And there's a little heartfelt story between a father and a son in there, and all kinds of interesting stuff. I like that one. That one was way better than the Paint movie. So if you like Jack Black, Steve Martin stuff, those type of characters. Owen Wilson was in that movie too. Yeah, he was in the Big Year also. He was a main character in it. One of the main baddies. It was a lot of fun. I like that one. The last one I checked out was... Oops. I'm looking at something, not watching my camera. Was Bloodshot. I watched that last night with Vin Diesel. That was I can't believe I didn't watch that yet, back in the day and stuff, when it came out, because I think it came out like 2020 or something like that. But I enjoyed it. I don't know if it got really bad reviews or what, and I was iffy with it at first, but then I got into it, couldn't stop watching it. I really wish it would have got more recognition and would have got a second and a third movie, because the character where he was taken to and left at, and where it could go from there at the end of the movie, would be awesome. I think they could have done a lot with it. I wish Valiant would have done more with it. Who knows, they might come back with a second movie or a third movie here, since they're having this big new Valiant re-emergence, re-release type thing going on right now, where we're being reintroduced to all the characters. We're having this Valiant Universe event and everything that's going on. So it would be awesome if we'd get to see some of those characters popping out on film. I'm sick and tired of this Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. It's like, let's get someone new out there. Let's get some of the indies, some of the oddball characters. Make it really fun. That's more what I'm into. Even Deadpool, Wolverine, after this Deadpool Wolverine World War III run that we got going on, I do not like what they're doing with the Deadpool character in that storyline. I don't like what they did with the Wolverine character. There's a little neat part in the second issue that was the best part of the whole story so far. But other than that, it's, I don't know. I like old school Deadpool, the goofy merc with the mouth. That's what I want. But see what happens. And then I still check out the Niobe live videos on and off. They're usually later at night, so I only catch clips of them after the wife goes to bed. Parts of them. I can't sit there and follow a live stream for hours unless it's talking about something that definitely pulls me into it or something. But I like watching it. Ben Dunn comes on it a lot, and we get to see a lot of footage of what he's been up to recently and what he's been commenting on. But with this whole Trump event that we just had with the Trump getting shot last week, clipped in the ear, assassination attempt, and then now in a half hour that way is where he is right now. He came in a few days ago. If I would have been up here, I could have seen Air Force One fly overhead. Apparently, I noticed videos that were put up that were from around the area, but I did not know he was flying in that day, so I screwed up and didn't even process that and come out to, yeah, it was in the 90s. I wouldn't have wanted to be out here anyways. But yeah, with all that going on, Ben Dunn came on the Niobe. I don't know if it was on the Niobe or if he just did a video on his thing and then Niobe posted it and they talked about it. But yeah, he was going over, it's like, whatever happened to our superheroes? We don't have that anymore. We don't have the World War II event style comics coming out where Superman's coming to save the world, bring world peace and all that stuff. Instead, we're just seeing things like The Boys and shit, where superheroes are destroying other superheroes. We're trying to show the bad side of everybody, trying to show what happens behind closed doors to all the characters. And we're not seeing those characters anymore that are just something for all the kids to look up to. And I agree with Ben Dunn completely on that. It's just, I'm not speaking his words for him. I can't, you'd have to watch his video to get the exact way he talked about everything, but the basic concept was that we need to bring our superheroes back. We need to bring some inspiration for our young kids to have, instead of just focus on destruction. But I don't know, it's like we have these political candidates that are fighting, putting up videos. I mean, all I see is Biden cutting down Trump on every freaking commercial. It's like, but I don't see the opposite happening. You'll see a couple little things from Trump, but you're not, Biden is just full-fledged on it. Then all of a sudden this happens and Biden's trying to be like, well, that's not right. I don't want anything to happen to old Trumpy and all this stuff. It's like, I mean, you can't apologize for, you stand for a country and yet your visual perception for that country is you belittling the past president and trying to put him in jail, which I don't give two shits about either party, either side. I'm not advocating for either one of them, but I mean, we got people that are so freaking old, they can hardly stay awake when they're at the podium, and people that change their mind constantly flip-flop. We just really need to restructure our political arsenal. But yeah, it's you wonder why things happen. You got these mentally ill young kids that are hearing these things and seeing these things constantly from leaders of the countries and leaders of the states and everything, and they're just constantly bickering and cutting on each other. And so if you're supporting that person and they're saying this other person's bad, you got this young kid that's mentally confused, and they're like, well, hell, my dad just bought me a gun, I'm gonna go out and do something with it. It's like, I don't know, we really need to do something to change this frickin' economy, change this world, change our country, change views all around. It's like people are so obsessed with, I think one of the biggest things right now is just spitting out kids. It's like pro-choice or no choice, or for or against having kids, whatever. I mean, shoving it down my throat that there should be kids born every 5 seconds, and we should be spitting them out like crazy, and none of them should be gotten rid of in any way, shape, forms, or means, whether a person is raped, abused, or whatever, and then we're expected to deal with what these children end up doing in the long run. I know there's a plane up there. I'm trying to get him in the background, but he's in that dark cloud. Oh, no, he's just underneath the cloud. I can see him now. But, yeah, I don't want to get into politics, but yeah, it's just a really sad time at the moment. I agree with Ben. We need to bring something back, some positivity in the world. Get our children to look at things in a different view. I mean, we live in a society right now where most young adults were allowed to play Grand Theft Auto 4 at 8 years old because their parents didn't give a shit. But yet, if we say we don't care about kids, then we're bad people. But you can have kids and not watch them. You have no idea where they are at 11, 12 o'clock at night, and they're getting shot every night. And I don't know what it's like in every other city, but Milwaukee, we have at least one kid getting shot every night. It's not changing. Nothing's going different. So, if it's not someone getting shot, it's someone taking a car, driving it erratically, stealing it, smashing it, whatever. So, it's just, we gotta fix it. We gotta fix something. We gotta get off these stupid issues, gotta quit arguing with each other, quit belittling each other. Let's try and just fix something. Imagine that. You know, like when we were in high school and we had our political little things, and we'd go for school council and all that, and we'd actually have views that we were working towards. Let's focus on those views. Actually fix something in this freaking country, instead of worrying about putting everybody in jail and belittling everybody and tearing everybody down and making people feel like shit towards other people because of it. It's like, we gotta fix it. But I don't need to talk about that. We need to talk about comics, entertainment, video games, stuff like that. Nothing special going on this week. The weather, if it's supposed to be nice for the next 5 days, it'll be in the 80s and stuff, but actually be able to get out and about and maybe drive around and see if we can find some rummage sales. I don't think there's any comic events this weekend. There was one last weekend, but it was way too hot to go to that one. So who knows? If I can get out and about for a bit, we'll probably take a ride and go do something. At least hopefully find a sale or two or some shit. But not like I need anything. I got plenty of stuff right now to work on. I got 3 huge stacks of comics next to my chair that I'm way behind on. Hawk's out. So we got the Hawk group that comes around every now and then. There's like 20 to 30 Hawks in the group. They circle around the neighborhood. You'll see them out like once a week. But yeah. So I suppose I'm gonna get going here. I heard my name being yelled, so who knows what's going on. Keep following under the Cowl of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend. Check out Crimson Cowl Comic Club, and we will get back with more of this soon. So take care, and we'll be back.